Hi everyone, I am Manoj, PGT Physics, Sainik School, Karakutam. You are most welcome to our video room of Sainik School, Karakutam. Today, I would like to present a small portion in physics. It is about current. You know, basically, there are some three forms of current. The first one is, all of you might have heard this, DC. DC means direct current which can be extracted from cells. And if you feel the graph will be like this. Time is taken along x-axis and current is taken along y. The DC will be like this. This is the constant DC. Now, there are some other forms of DC also. For example, if you take a half wave rectifier, the output is like this. So, that is a variable DC. This is also DC, but it is variable. If you are taking a full wave rectifier, it will be like this, the output of a full wave rectifier. That is also a variable DC, but the frequency is more. Now, there is another type of current like this. See, time is in x-axis, current is in y-axis. See this. This is also a DC, but it is increasing exponentially. And these types of currents are known as transient current. TC, short form it is TC, transient current. Like this, the current can be reduced also in this form. Exponentially, the current will be decreasing. See. So, this is also TC. So, what I have told you, DC and TC, all these things are in one category. It is existing in the positive cycle of the current only. Now, today we are coming to some special concepts regarding alternating current. Alternating current. In short, it will be written as AC. Alternating current. At the outset, I will tell you why it is known as alternating, because see, when you take the time in x-axis and current in y-axis, this is positive y, this is negative y-axis. Then the current will be varying like this. All of you see, like this. See, this is the positive cycle and this is the negative cycle. So, current is fluctuating on positive and negative values. That is why it is called as alternating current. Alternatively, the magnitude is changing to positive and negative values. For DC, it did not come in the negative side. So, widely this is known as the alternating current. What is our next idea? Our next idea is to derive an equation for AC. All of you know the alternating current is produced when there is a magnetic flux change in a coil. This concept you have studied in the previous chapter, that is the electromagnetic induction. There you went through the details about the magnetic flux change and the AC. Now, what is the equation for magnetic flux? The equation for magnetic flux is phi is equal to B dot A, where B is the magnetic intensity vector and A is the areal vector. B dot A will be the magnetic flux, and of course, magnetic flux is a scalar. Now, what is the expansion of B dot A? That is phi is equal to B A cos theta. B A cos theta. Here theta is the angle between the magnetic vector and the areal vector. So, it is phi is equal to B A cos theta. Again we can simplify theta in a different form. When the coil is rotating in a magnetic field, there is an angular velocity omega. I told you already, AC is produced when there is a rotation of a coil in a magnetic field. So, when a coil is rotating, of course, it will be having an angular velocity, and angular velocity is omega. What is omega? Omega is equal to theta by t. Therefore, theta is equal to omega t. Substitute this omega t instead of theta. Therefore, what is phi? Therefore, phi is equal to B A cos omega t. Next, what is the Lenz's law for induced EMF? This also you studied in the last chapter. According to the Lenz's law, the induced EMF E is equal to minus d phi by dt. See, induced EMF is minus d phi by dt. The negative of the first derivative of magnetic flux with respect to the time, that is the induced EMF. Now you substitute the value of phi. See, that is E is equal to minus d by dt of phi. Phi what we have seen? B A cos omega t. See, E is equal to minus d by dt of B A cos omega t. Now you differentiate this, that is E is equal to minus B A into d by dt of cos omega t. E is equal to minus d by d minus B A into d by dt of cos omega t. Just differentiate this cos omega t, that is E is equal to minus B A omega, what is the differential of cos omega t? Minus sin omega t. So, differential of cos omega t is omega into minus sin omega t. Now, you arrange these terms, minus of minus will become plus, that is B A omega sin omega t. If the coil is having n number of turns, this is for one turn, we were deriving the equation for only one turn. If the coil is having n number of turns will be n, then the total induced EMF E is equal to n into B A omega sin omega t. See this. Now, this equation can be rewritten in a different form. See, n is a constant, where n is the total number of turns, B magnetic intensity constant, A area it's a constant, omega constant angular velocity. Since all these things are constants, what we can write, that is E is equal to E0 sin omega t. See, E is equal to E0 sin omega t. All of you please concentrate in this equation. E is equal to E0 sin omega t. This is the equation for AC. Then you will ask, then why it is known as the equation for AC? How is this AC fluctuation is adjoined with this particular equation? That we are going to see. Look, what we have seen, the equation for AC is E is equal to E0 sin omega t. This is the equation which we have seen now, equation for AC. Now we are going to represent this equation in a two-dimensional graph. Just see. See, this is the origin, positive x-axis, positive y, negative y. In the x-axis, I am going to take angular velocity or angular displacement, that is theta. So, omega t is taken in x-axis, and E, the induced EMF or the EMF developed, it is taken in y-axis. So, let us see. Suppose this is 0, let this be 90, 180, 270, 360. These are the values for omega t for one cycle, and consider this is plus E, and let this be minus E. Look, now in this equation, when omega t is 0, E is equal to E0 into sine 0. All of you know the value of sine 0 is 0. So, E is equal to 0. So, when omega t is 0, E is equal to 0. We are starting the value from here, from the origin. Next, when omega t is 90, sine 90, you know that sine 90 is 1. Therefore, E is equal to E0 into 1. So, E is equal to E0. Look, when the omega t value is 90, when the angular displacement is 90, the EMF is reaching here. Again, when omega t is equal to 180, all of you know sine 180 is again 0. So, the EMF is coming to this side. When omega t is 270, sine 270, that you know it is minus 1. So, E is equal to E0 into minus 1. What is E0 into minus 1? Minus E0. So, minus E0, it will be coming here. See? Now, last, when omega t is equal to 360 degree, we are going to complete one cycle. When omega t is 360 degree, again sine 360 is 0, E is equal to 0. So, we will reach here. Now, all of you look here, I am going to draw a graph. See, it is like this, from 0 to 90, 90 to 180, 180 to 270 and to 360, the graph is like this. See, this EMF is fluctuating to the positive cycle and the negative cycle. So, you see the graph, the EMF is going to positive and the negative cycle, and this is the graph for AC wave. Of course, it is sinusoidal wave, it is not a straight line graph, it is sinusoidal because the variation of E is depending on sine omega t, not omega t, sine omega t. So, it is a sinusoidal variation. So, this is the equation for AC. Now, we are coming to the loads in AC. What is the use of AC? In your house you are using AC, in factories, in many hardware systems we are using AC. So, AC is an agent to operate high loads. So, which are the loads in AC? The loads in AC, mainly there are three categories. The loads in AC. Loads in AC. The first one is resistance. Resistance is the first load in AC and it is represented with the letter R. And you know the symbol, it is like this. So, the first load in AC is resistance. And what is the next one? It is inductance. It is represented with the letter L. You might have studied this in detail in the previous chapter, electromagnetic induction. Now, what is its representation? It is like this. See? That is the representation for inductance. Now what is the third load? The third load is capacitance. Capacitance. The letter will be C and it will be represented like this. Capacitance. So these three are the loads in AC. Now what is our idea? Next we are going to see the variation of voltage and current when these loads are connected. When these loads are connected means these loads can be connected individually and by combination. Mainly for this syllabus for class 12th, the combinations are LR, CR and LCR in series. LR means series combination of inductance and resistance. Then CR, series combination of capacitance and resistance. Then LCR, the series combination of inductor, capacitor and resistor. Okay. Now, first we are going to see the variation of EMF and current when the resistor is connected across AC. Now see this figure. Here a resistance R is connected across the AC. This is the symbol of AC. And the equation is E is equal to E0 sin omega t. E is equal to E0 sin omega t. Omega t is the angular displacement. And one more thing, in detail, what is omega? Omega will be written as 2 pi f. Omega is 2 pi f, where f is the frequency of AC. In domestic situation in India, the frequency is 50 hertz. The domestic frequency of our AC is 50 hertz. So f is frequency and that frequency can be converted as angular frequency as 2 pi f. F is the normal frequency and omega is known as the angular frequency. So E is equal to E0 sin omega t. Well, we are going to write it here. The equation for EMF is, or voltage is, E is equal to E0 sin omega t. Let it be equation 1. Now, if I is the current established in the circuit, when I is passing through a resistor R, then the EMF across the resistor, that is E, will be equal to IR. E is equal to E0 sin omega t, general equation. Here the load is R. So when a current I is flowing, the PD developed across R is IR. So what is this? Therefore, IR is equal to E0 sin omega t. Bring this R to the right hand side, that is I is equal to E0 by R sin omega t. What is E0 by R? E0 is the maximum EMF divided by the resistance, that is the maximum current, that is I is equal to I0 sin omega t. I is equal to I0 sin omega t. This is the equation for current. First, let this be equation number 3. Equation 1 is the equation for EMF. You concentrate in these two equations. E is equal to E0 sin omega t. I is equal to I0 sin omega t. Both are in same form. That means the current and the voltage, both are in same phase. The variation is in same phase. When current is 0, EMF will be 0. See, for example, when omega t is 0, E is equal to 0. When omega t is 0, I is equal to 0. When omega t 90, E is equal to E0. When omega t 90 here, I is equal to I0. And so on. So the variation of EMF and current both are in same phase. This we can represent in a graph. Well, what is the equation for EMF? It is E is equal to E0 sin omega t. Now you see, when omega t is 0 for EMF, E is equal to 0. See, it is starting from here. The red graph is for EMF. When omega t is 0, EMF is equal to 0. When omega t is 90, E is equal to plus E0. It is reaching here. When omega t is 180, again EMF is reaching to 0 value. So, according to the variation of omega, you can see the fluctuation in the graph, and the variation of EMF is represented in red mark. And now come to the equation for current. What is the equation for current? I is equal to I0 sin omega t. I is equal to I0 sin omega t. Here also, I is also varying according to the variation of E. See this, it is drawn with a blue marking. See, when omega t is 0, I is equal to 0. When omega t is 90, I is equal to maximum, that is plus I0. Then again it is coming to 180, 0, 270, minus I0, and the last 360, it is again 0. So, this variation, see, this form is known as the full cycle, full AC cycle. One is existing at the positive cycle, second is at the negative. So, ultimately what we can conclude, the variation of EMF and current in AC is in phase, same when resistor is connected as a load. It is only applied for resistor. So, in AC, when resistor is connected, EMF and current both will be in same phase. In this situation only, maximum power will be developed. For example, suppose you want to iron. When you are using iron, electric iron, it is a high resistor. The resistance is very high. So, when you are taking load, EMF and current both will be in same phase and the power will be maximum. The power factor we will study later, but think that when EMF and current both are at same phase, the power will be maximum. Now, we are going to see the load as an inductor in AC. Just see it. Okay. See this, E is equal to E0 sin omega t. We are going to connect an inductor across the AC. So, what is the equation for AC? E is equal to E0 sin omega t. Let it be equation 1. Now, you know, when you are connecting an inductor in AC, an EMF will be developed. This concept you studied in the last chapter, electromagnetic induction. So, I am going to write that equation directly here. The EMF developed across an inductor, E will be equal to L di by dt. That is equation number 2. It is L di by dt, where L is the self-inductance and di by dt, it is the rate of change of current through the inductor. Now, equate, therefore, L di by dt will be equal to E0 sin omega t. From this equation, what is di? Di can be written like this, that is E0 sin omega t dt by L. So, this is the equation for a small current. Di is equal to E0 by L sin omega t dt. Our aim is to find the equation for maximum current. So, we have to integrate this equation. So, what is I? Integral di. So, I is equal to, therefore, I is equal to integral E0 by L sin omega t dt. See, I is equal to E0 by L sin omega t dt. Now, we are going to integrate this, that is I is equal to I is equal to E0 by L, constants can be taken out, into integral sin omega t dt. What is integral sin omega t dt? It is minus cos omega t by omega. So, let us write that. That is I is equal to, after integration we are going to get like this, E0 by omega L minus cos omega t. See, E0 by omega L, after integration this omega will come here. So, E0 by omega L minus cos omega t. Now, how we can write minus cos theta? Minus cos theta can be written in this way. Minus cos theta is sin theta minus pi by 2. See? Sin theta minus pi by 2, that can be written as minus cos theta. So, this minus cos omega t we can write in that form, that is I is equal to E0 by omega L into sin omega t minus pi by 2. See, I is equal to E0 by L sin omega t minus pi by 2. Here, this is a current term, see, EMF by a particular quantity which is equivalent to resistance. It is not resistance, it is omega L. And this omega L term, omega L, it is known as inductive reactance. Omega L, it is known as inductive reactance. That means it is the resistance offered by an inductor when it is connected to AC. See, it's a load. Inductor is a load. When you are connecting inductor to AC, of course, there will be a resistance factor, and that here that resistance is known as the inductive reactance. That letter will be always written by XL. This XL is known as inductive reactance. So, finally, what we can write, I is equal to E0 by omega L, that E0 by XL, E0 by XL sin omega t minus pi by 2. Look, that is I is equal to EMF by resistance factor, that is current, I0 sin omega t minus pi by 2. Please concentrate in this equation. I is equal to I0 sin omega t minus pi by 2. What was the equation for EMF? Equation for EMF was E is equal to E0 sin omega t. See the equation for EMF and current, both are not in same phase. That we will see in a diagram. Okay, now you see the graph. The red entry is for the variation of EMF along with the angular velocity, that is angular displacement. That is, it is like this. See, 0 to 90 maximum, 90 to 180 again reducing to 0, 180 to 270 it is again reducing to negative direction, and 360 degree it is coming to 0. That variation is common. In earlier case also the variation of EMF was like that. Now you see the equation for current. When omega t is equal to 0, when omega t here is 0, if omega t is equal to 0, then I is equal to I0 sin minus pi by 2. Sin minus pi by 2 means minus sin theta. It is minus sin 90. Minus sin 90 is minus 1. So, I is equal to I0 into minus 1, that is I is equal to minus I0. So, at the beginning current is starting from the negative cycle. So, let the current be like this. See, it's starting from here. Then, when omega t is 90, 90 minus 90, it is 0. So, I is equal to I0 into sin 0, it will be coming to 0. When this is 270, when it is coming to 180 degree, 180 minus 90, that is sin 90, again I is equal to I0. I0, let it be somewhere here. Then coming to 270, it is here. Then it is coming to 360, it is here. See, the variation is like this. Then some of you may be asking why you are drawing the current values lighter than the EMF value. Of course, when you are taking the magnitude, it will not be reaching up to the maximum value of EMF because loads are playing the role. Current is voltage by resistance. So, resistance factor is there, that is why the magnitude is not reaching to the value of EMF. See the blue entry, this is the variation of current. Red is showing the variation of EMF. They are not in same phase. So, when you are connecting an inductor to AC, current and EMF both are not in same phase. Here EMF is leading. At the beginning, you see at the beginning EMF is 0 and the current is minus I0. That means minus value, negative value. So, EMF is leading. So, what is the conclusion? When you are connecting an inductor in AC, current is lagging the EMF or EMF is leading the current by 90 degree. I repeat, when an inductor is connected to AC, the EMF will lead the current. We are beginning with EMF term. EMF will lead the current by 90 degree. That is, E is equal to E0 sin omega t, I is equal to I0 sin omega t minus pi by 2. Now, the third load is there, that is a capacitor. Now, we will connect a capacitor to AC and we will study the variation of EMF and current. See, a capacitor is connected across AC. All of you know the equation for AC, that is E is equal to E0 sin omega t, same. E is equal to E0 sin omega t, same equation. Now, we are coming to the capacitor. When you are imagining a capacitor, the equation for the capacitor is Q is equal to CE. Q is equal to CE. You might have studied this equation in second chapter, electric potential and capacitors. Q is equal to CV, like that. So, here we are representing it as E. Therefore, Q is equal to CE. Therefore, what is E? Therefore, E is equal to Q by C. Number 2. Now, equation number 2 can be substituted in equation number 1. That is, E is equal to, that is Q by C is equal to, Q by C is equal to E0 sin omega t. Q by C is equal to E0 sin omega t. Therefore, Q is equal to C E0 sin omega t. This is Q. This is the equation for charge. From charge, how will we derive the equation for current? You know, the rate of flow of charge is current, is it not? So, apply that equation here, that is I is equal to, see, I is equal to dq by dt. The first derivative of charge with respect to time, that is current. So, I is equal to, see this, I is equal to d by dt of, what is Q? Q is C E0 sin omega t. Take the constants out, that is I is equal to C E0 into differential of sin theta. All of you know differential of sin theta is cos theta. So, it is cos omega t into omega. One term will come after that. Therefore, I is equal to, what is the equation which we got here? That is I is equal to, I is equal to omega c E0 cos omega t. See, omega c E0 cos omega t. This can be represented in a different form, that is I is equal to E0 by 1 by omega c. Look this, E0 by 1 by omega c. This is the denominator of a denominator. It will go to the numerator and you will get the same equation. So this can be represented like this. E0 by 1 by omega c into cos omega t. Now concentrate this equation. E0 by 1 by omega c. I told you this is the equation for current. Whenever you are dividing something with EMF and if it is a current term, then this is the resistance factor. 1 by omega c is the resistance offered by a capacitor in AC. 1 by omega c, it is the resistance offered by the capacitor in AC. Now look here, 1 by omega c. This 1 by omega c, it is represented by the letter Xc, and that is called as capacitive reactance. See, capacitive reactance. The earlier one was inductive reactance. This is capacitive reactance. So what is this capacitive reactance? It is 1 by omega c. 1 by omega c. Capacitive reactance is 1 by omega c. So altogether the equation will be like this, that is I is equal to E0 by Xc into cos omega t. This is I is equal to, this is I0, EMF by resistance is current I0. Cos theta can be written as sin omega t plus pi by 2. See, sin 90 plus theta is cos theta. Therefore, this cos omega t can be written in this way, that is I is equal to I0 sin omega t plus pi by 2. See this equation? This is the equation for EMF. At the same, current. This is the equation for current. At the same time, we got the equation for EMF as E is equal to E0 sin omega t. Look, this is I is equal to I0 sin omega t plus pi by 2. This is E is equal to E0 sin omega t. Now compare these two equations. Are they in same phase? No. Here when omega t is 0, E is equal to 0. But here when omega t is 0, it is sin 90. Sin 90 is 1. I is equal to I0. So even though EMF is not there, there is a current. So they are not in same phase. We will see the variation in a graph. Just see. Now see the equation for EMF. E is equal to E0 sin omega t. This is the equation for EMF and it is same as that of the previous cases. You see the red graph there. That is the representation of EMF. Now you come to the say current. What is the equation for current? I is equal to I0 sin omega t plus pi by 2. When omega t is 0, it is sin 90. That means at the beginning a current is established. See here, the current is established. Then omega t is equal to 90, then it is coming to 0. So the blue entry is representing the variation of current. Now you look the graph, are they in same phase? No. Here the current is leading the EMF. The current is leading the EMF by 90 degree. But in inductor, EMF was leading the current by 90 degree. So study these variations like this. In resistor, both EMF and current both are in same phase. In inductor L, EMF is leading the current. See, EMF is leading the current. The leader is coming to the top. EMF is leading the current. Now in capacitor, current is leading the EMF. These are the three things which you have studied when you are connecting resistor, inductor and capacitor. And one more thing, in these cases you came across two important terms. One is called as the inductive reactance, and that is omega L, and second is the capacitive reactance, and that is 1 by omega C. Now there is a common question. If you are connecting an inductor to a DC, what will happen? For example, this is an inductor, it is connected to a DC. So is there any EMF or is there any use for that? Look, is there any use? What is the inductive reactance? Inductive reactance XL is equal to omega L. I told you omega is 2 pi F into L. For a DC, F is equal to 0. So the inductive reactance is 0. Inductive reactance is 0. So what will be the current? Current is equal to, if this is E by 0. Something by 0 is infinity. When the current is infinity, that is called as short circuiting. So without any load, if you are connecting an inductor in DC, that will lead a short circuit. It is not permitted. But this can be connected in AC because omega L is having a value. In the same way, suppose you are connecting a capacitor to DC, what will happen? See, this is a capacitor and we are going to connect the capacitor to a DC source. Is there any use for connecting like this? Let us see. What is the capacitive reactance? Xc is equal to 1 by omega C. That is Xc is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc. As I told you earlier, for DC F is equal to 0. Therefore, Xc is equal to 1 by 0. What is 1 by 0? Infinity. So capacitive reactance is infinity. What is the equation for current? I is equal to E by Xc. That is E by infinity. E by infinity means it is tending to 0. 0 means no current will be established in the circuit. So what does it mean? A capacitor will block the DC. When you are connecting a capacitor to a DC circuit, the current will be blocked. No current will be maintained in that circuit. The resistance will be, or the the capacitive reactance will be very high. So recapitulate all these ideas, especially the main concept is what is the equation for AC and which are the loads in AC, and when these loads are connected in AC, there is a variation of EMF and current, and which are the nature, in what nature this EMF and currents are varying. That is the main content in this topic. Thank you.